take on it, but something very beautiful to me about interracial couples. Like, I don't know what it is about seeing it. It doesn't even need to be specifically black and white. It could be Hispanics and whites. Just anything with two opposite skin tones. It's just what you're not used to seeing. Because it's typical to see the whites and whites, the blacks and blacks, the Mexicans and Mexicans. But when you see two people of two different ethnicities dating, it's just such a beautiful thing. Especially because when you mix it together and the baby come out, how you think your boy came out? I'm black and Hispanic, baby. Mixed babies are just beautiful. We need more of them in this world. And that's just the truth. I think interracial dating is beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing to combine cultures, to see two people of two different worlds, two different upbringings, probably cultures, just getting along, creating something beautiful. And it's so crazy because the world is so focused on making it such a negative thing. You see a black man and a white woman dating, and it's like, it goes crazy. It's like, bro.
The hardest part of being married to a black woman is every day having to deal with how sexy she is.
White women have a fetish over black men. Yeah, I'm gonna obsess over my black man. I'm gonna love his skin and his hair. Oh, daddy, you wanna eat me up? Shit, I'll eat you up too. Like, I wanna climb in his skin. I wanna. You don't have a man like that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I've never seen an unhappy black woman with a fine-ass white man. I've never seen it. And we could talk about it more. Because the ones that be happy as hell with their white man, they be getting everything that they want. And that's going to be me next. Happily in love, living a life, they man spoiling them. They just over there. Where the white man at? I'm at the point where I'm sick of you niggas. Like, I am. Y'all give nothing no more. So I'm dating out of my comfort zone now, and I'm going to get me a Caucasian man. So where y'all at?
Okay, so being married to a white woman for almost 4 years now, would you do it again?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh my gosh!
I'm being very honest with you. I think that there are some things that, honestly, as an Igbo man, that I would not have tried myself.
Yeah?
You're the only
It has been hard.
white person that I've ever dated. I think that with all of the challenges that I've encountered with an interracial marriage, I'm not willing to compromise my Nigerian culture for anyone. I don't think I would do that again for anyone else. That's just the honest truth.
Have you ever noticed that interracial relationships, especially those between white women and black men, spark a lot of curiosity and conversation? Today, we're diving into the intriguing question: why do white women like black men? Firstly, let's acknowledge that attraction is deeply personal and subjective, influenced by a variety of factors: cultural, physical, emotional, and beyond. For many white women, the appeal in black men can lie in their confidence, charisma, and strong sense of identity. Cultural openness and a desire to explore relationships outside one's own background also play significant roles. Black men often bring unique perspectives, strength, resilience, and authenticity that can be incredibly attractive. Many white women find these qualities refreshing and deeply compelling, making their relationships rich, dynamic, and meaningful. Additionally, societal progress and growing acceptance of diversity mean more people feel comfortable openly embracing their attractions and relationships. Love and attraction increasingly transcend traditional boundaries, celebrating diversity and connection. Of course, every relationship is unique. Attraction can't be generalized completely, but openness, mutual respect, understanding, and genuine connection are what truly matter. Now, I'm curious. What do you think? Why do you believe interracial relationships, especially between white women and black men, are becoming more common and openly embraced? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.
I feel bad for the black dudes that fall in love with white women, because I'm seeing out here John Cannon get scrutinized for having a white wife, and I feel like I could speak on it because I have a black wife. I fell in love with a black woman. Ain't nobody ever tried to tell me that I can't speak on white women or white people.
Now, I can see where this man came from was not a place of being malicious or, facetious or anything like that, right? But this is where culture and history is extremely important, because then if he knew the dynamic between black men and white women and black women and white men, he would know that they were completely different. He never had to feel this way because he's never been the butt of the joke. He never had to feel this way because him just simply existing did not bother a whole nother couple. Now, can black men and white women be in a relationship and not bring up black women at all in any conversation? Yes, absolutely. But more than often it happens because in history, there's always been this silent hatred towards black women amongst white women. The whole I can do what you can do, I can have what you can have, even from the time of slavery. And if you knew the psychological behavior of black men, you would know that black men fell into white supremacy a whole lot more and a whole lot higher than black women did. Now, can this happen with a black woman dating a white man? Yes, absolutely. But more than often in history, white men never felt beneath black men. And the only time you ever get that effect, typically even now in this day and age, is in the physical or sexual aspect. Black men and black women have a completely different trauma, and they respond in relationships in a completely different way. Now, both of them need help in many different ways, and that's just the truth. And if I can break it down in a more simple way, black men deal with self-hatred at a much higher level. Them dating black women reminds them of themselves. Them dating white women helps to remove that self-hatred from themselves, even though it actually doesn't. Black women are dealing with lack of protection, so typically when they're dating white men, black men are typically either still their preference or they are so tired of trying with black men that they have ended up dating white men. But their love is typically cultivated in pain, so you get two completely different responses.
Okay, y'all, so I just went on a date with a white man. So his status, he is 6'3", he is 40, no kids, and he works in professional sporting. So we went to this place called First Watch. It is in Westport, Kansas City. It is a breakfast, brunch, and lunch place. And we had, really good conversation. We both have a lot of experience in the service industry and hospitality, so we connected with that. The conversation was just so good, y'all. I was giggling, showing my big white teeth, Lord Jesus. And I just noticed something different from when, like, an African-American man, like, gets your number, and then, like, for a Caucasian man or a man of a different race gets your number. Like, for those of a different race, like, they ask you for a date immediately. A black man, he drags it out. He want to talk. He want to have conversation, which, previous conversation before asking on a date is important, but they want to drag it out as long as they possibly can before they feel like they're going to spend a dime on you. Yeah, that's why black men gets left on red. Okay? I gave this man my number. Today is Saturday. I don't know what the date is, but today is Saturday. I gave this man my number, no joke, 2 days ago. And he planned this date. Yeah. So, during brunch, we talking, we both got a little like breakfast cocktail. Y'all know I don't drink, but I'm sipping it. It was sweet. The drink was called a cinnamon toast crunch breakfast cereal. It had coconut rum in it. So, I'm, sipping little cute, little this and that. But of course I didn't finish my cocktail. I didn't finish my food. I got full really quick. Fast forward, the date was amazing. He's walking me to my car. He asked me out on a second date while we're still on our first date. And he just hugs me just so tight. And he's just so tall, very well put together, Lord Jesus. He asked me, do I look like my pictures? And I'm just like, no. You look better than your pictures. You look good. He was white. He was bald. He had a full beard that was lined up. How he carried himself made him fine, honey. He had on cowboy boots, all that, so, I'm like, just like, I'm a little smitten. And, he leaned in for a kiss, a couple times throughout the date. And, I curved him. Cute, not anything embarrassing, but, I have first date etiquette. It's just certain things you don't do or say or expose or anything on the first date. Keep it light, keep it airy, keep it, real fluffy. And so he's going out of town, later this week. He said, I'm going to make sure I see you before I go out of town. And I said, okay, yes, sir.
Hey, I got a little theory when it comes to black people, male or female, that want to go out and whether they want to divest on the women's side, or go to the snowfield on the men's side, right? Especially if they've exclusively dated black people and all of a sudden they want to try something new. I got a couple theories on this, right? It might make some of the swirlers upset, but hear me out now. Some of my thoughts are a little raw. I'm gonna try to articulate them the best I can, right? Number one is y'all tend to come down on y'all look standards and be more privy to what actually matters in a relationship as far as like character traits and stuff like that. Y'all are more privy to those things when you go out and date white women or white men, right? Than you would when you're with your own race, because you're more comfortable with, the race of men or women that you're from. So when y'all be like, oh, well, white men treat me better or white women treat me better, it's not that they treat you better, it's that you just chose better because you're out of your comfort zone. And so when you like, look, I'm gonna try this out, you want to make it count. So you like on all P's and Q's, and you're actually choosing better on how you're actually supposed to pick and choose a partner, right? And then when y'all get with said person, you put your best foot forward with that white boy or that white girl. You give them 100% of you. You putting in extra effort. Number one, because you subconsciously don't want to embarrass yourself in front of white folks, and you don't want to be the black stain, figuratively and or not, on their image of what it meant to go and talk to a black person. You don't want to be the one that they go talk with. If y'all break up, they go talk to and say, this is why I didn't want to date a black person. You don't want to be that person. So you put your best foot forward because you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of white folks subconsciously. And y'all are more willing to put up with things from white women or white men that you would never put up with from black men or black women. You have more compassion, more sympathy, more empathy, more understanding when it comes to them doing things than you would with a black person. And you don't do things that you would do to a black man or a black woman because you know there's certain things white men or white women don't put up with, especially white men. They have their standards and things that they culturally do and put up with that you know that and you understand that, and you would never do those things because you know he'd get rid of you. But you'll do it with black men because you know there are certain things culturally that black men will accept standard-wise that are low or beneath other groups of men. And the same can be said for women. Our women and the men or whatever. There are things that black women accept from black men that no other race of women accept from their men. There are things that black men accept from our women that other races of men typically will never accept from their women. And y'all be knowing this, and y'all act accordingly. Also, there are negative character traits that they can project or things that they can do and get away with, and you'll accept it as, like white men, for example. There are things that white men can do and be accepted from black women that if a black man were to do it, it'd be an ick to a black woman. Compared to if a white boy gets to do it, it's, oh, he's quirky, or that's cute, or he's just, you know what I'm saying? It's acceptable from them simply because he's white. And the same can be said for black women. There are certain things that black men, that black women will do that black men will say, oh, well, that makes her angry, or that makes her, she got an attitude. But if a white girl to do it, it's like, oh, well, she's just expressing herself, or, maybe I should listen to her, or be, try to figure out what's wrong with her. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. But I don't know. I got more theories in my head, but I just can't really articulate them right now. But that's all I can get for now. But I don't know. What y'all think? I just want to know, cause it's things that I observe. I don't dive in the snow, but it's just things that I observe when folks be dealing with the snow. Just my observations. What y'all think?
I don't know who need to hear this, but y'all sleeping on the South Asian boys, Vietnamese, Thai, Filipino, Singaporean, Malaysian. Come on now, loud. Oh, make you say, ow, get into it.
To what he's seen and what he witnessed being with this young lady and this new side of life. And so he said that, when he's seen it, he started thinking about all of the chaos.
So this lady goes on to talk about how she was in a barbershop. Young man is having a conversation about how he's getting married. He's black. He's getting married to a white woman. He moved away from home to go to college, met her there, and he has found that she has brought him peace that the black woman that he comes from and his family and neighborhood could not. So she is confused as to why that happened. Is it a black man thing? Is it a black woman thing? Is it a white woman thing? Does he hate black women? Let me try to give a little explanation here. What the man said is that he found peace in a white woman, not that he sought out a white woman for peace. He comes out the hood, right? Like a lot of young black men do. He came out the hood and he went to college. He discovered peace for the first time. He discovered people that didn't come from poverty, didn't come from a bunch of ratchetness, didn't come from feeling that their life is threatened, right? He found peaceful people. He found people with peaceful families who didn't have a bunch of BS going on. He saw that people do get married. People do have generational marriages, whole houses with whole families. He did not find that where he came from. He did not find that in his mother, in his sisters, in the women around him. He did not find peace in those people. It's not because those people are black. It's because of where those people are from. That is the main problem when we talk about black issues and black culture. It's not skin. A lot of it is just environment. And it's not a black woman thing. It's black men too. No black man from the hood leaves a peaceful and loving and quiet person. There's something that comes with being from that kind of a lifestyle, that kind of area, that it's not conducive to being peaceful. It's very hard for any black person from the hood, from any kind of ghetto area, from any kind of impoverished area to come out, be loving, be peaceful, not be loud, not be ratchet, not be this and not be that. Because that is what that environment is conducive to. It can only build you to that. It is very hard to come out of that, and most people never do. And when people do come out of it, people do change. The hood turns their back on those people, and those people turn their back on the hood. It kind of is what it is. But he found a white woman who is not from that and brought him peace. Let's also remember that colleges, especially unless you're really going to a HBCU, most colleges are PWI institutions. So for the most part, he's going to find a white woman there if he's looking for a love interest. I guarantee if that white woman happened to be black, but with the same attitude, with the same family background, and everyone was black, he would have found love in that black woman. Again, it is not because she is white. It is because she is peaceful and happens to be white. Black men get on here all the time and say, I want a black woman to be my peace. And black women will get on here and say, I don't want to be no man's peace. It is what it is. But that man values his peace. He values quiet. He values it a lot. And he just so happened to find it in a white woman. It's nothing to take personally. He didn't disparage black women, didn't talk shit or anything like that. All right? Don't take it personally, but maybe take it as a learning lesson. We all want to be with someone that we can find peace in and love in. And if the people that we're around at that time, whether they look like us or our family members, aren't conducive to that peace, it's not on the individual to stick around.
Yeah, so we have all talked about this before. All right, we've talked about this before, and all three of them, so my brothers and my sister included, all of them basically say the same thing. It's because of where we grew up. It's because of where we grew up. We grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, and I'm 31. I turned 32 in April, so I was born in 93. My brother was born in 95. The one after him was born in 98, and our youngest sister was born in 2004. And so, speaking specifically to my brothers, right, and myself, at that time in the late 90s, where we were one of very few families, okay, in the area. Gurney was not as diverse as it is now. Gurney, Waukegan, that surrounding area, wasn't as diverse as it is now. I grew up being one of the only black kids in my classes for several years. And it definitely altered the way that I felt about myself. It definitely altered what I thought was beautiful, what I thought was attractive. And so I can only believe that the same thing would have, that my brothers and my sister would have experienced the same thing. If you're not going to school with little black boys, if you're not going to school with little black girls, your first crushes are going to be on who? The people are available. And who are the people who are available? White people. I also think that my parents' faith, religion, had and their age had a lot to do with some of the disconnect as well. So not only were we living out in the burbs with a bunch of different white people and we weren't seeing our family like on a regular basis, right? We also weren't engaging in the like entertainment side of things, right? So I wasn't listening to Tupac. I wasn't listening to Biggie, Trina, Fox Brown. Like I wasn't listening to them. My parents are getting older, so I did grow up on Anita Baker, all right, and Al Green and Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway. Like I love my parents' music. It's the music of my heart, of my soul. But when it came to, again, like more things that were more aligned with, I guess, my age group at that time, like I didn't know anything about that. I didn't watch Boys in the Hood and Friday until I got into college. And I had to make it a personal mission of mine to go watch all of like the old black classic movies, because I got to college and people were making references and I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So we didn't even have that. Like we didn't even have that. I remember sneaking over to friend's house to go like watch 106 in Park, because like we weren't watching that. For the majority of my childhood, we didn't even have cable because my parents thought, that reading was more important, and I'm grateful for them for that, like I am. But no, like there was that sense of connection that was missing. Now I think the differences between me and my other siblings is that there was a longing for me to belong in black spaces, to be to be connected in that way, because I'm around these people, they don't give a fuck about me, they don't care about me, they say crazy things to me all the time, and like I just used to go along with it because I didn't want to be by myself at school. But I knew, like, going into college, I'm not doing this again. I'm not. And so I went to a state school, and when I tell you, like, my personal life at that state school might as well have been HBCU. Now, we're not going to disrespect them by calling a state school that, okay, right? But when I tell you my personal life was 100% black, it was 100% black. I didn't see white people at all. In my after classes, I was a speech and language pathology major, so it was like 96% white female or something. My program was something crazy like that. But outside of that classroom, baby, I was I was a part of NSBE, so National Society of Black Engineers. I was part of the gospel choir. I was a part of the National Society of, it was like the one for speech and language pathology. I can't remember. If it was black, I was involved in it. The only thing that I didn't do was pledge, because I didn't have the money and I was worried about my grades. But there was that longing for that connection there, which is why, like, I sought it out. It also came down to the realization one day when I was like 14 years old. I realized, you know what, white men are never going to take me seriously for real. They're never going to take me seriously for real. The ones that liked me would never admit that in front of their friends. They would never admit that in front of their friends. They would want to, do things in private or use me as some sort of like weird experiment. And I was like, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. Go where you're appreciated, right? And the people who have always appreciated me, black men. Black men have always validated me and my beauty. I've never questioned whether or not I was beautiful when it came to black men. And so I can't speak on my brothers and, their feelings around it. For me, my assumption is just, level of comfort. Level of comfort. Maybe their experience wasn't as uncomfortable as mine was, and they were okay with being, around, white people the majority of the time. It didn't faze them. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's validating to my brother, the one who's gay. Maybe it's validating knowing that he could pull, because my brother is very handsome. My brother Jared is incredibly handsome. Okay. Maybe there's validation in knowing that he could pull any white man that he wanted to off the street. Maybe it's got something to do with that. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not going to speak for them. I know my little sister, and I should have corrected this in the other video. For her, it's not that she's not willing to date black men. It's more of a issue of availability. So she is still in school up north. She's at University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and she's an architecture major. Okay, so it's not like there's a bunch of us hanging out in there. It's not like there's a bunch of us hanging out in there. So, so in her case, like right now, I understand. And my hope is that, that she'll be able to find someone who looks like her, who looks like us. But at the end of the day, my goal for all of my siblings is for them to be loved and to be respected and, and to be treated well. And so would I prefer for that to be, done by someone who looks like us? Absolutely. Absolutely. But, pardon me. But in the grand scheme of things, it really is not that important as long as they're happy. So hopefully that answers your question. I know I can be a little bit long-winded, but I do love this conversation. We should keep it going.